Buenos días. En este video vamos a aprender el imperfecto de subjuntivo. So we're going to learn the imperfect subjunctive in Spanish. And this isn't too difficult if you've been hopefully studying now just the present tense subjunctive, because really what this is basically taking the present tense subjunctive and sticking it in the past. So there is something new that you're going to have to learn in here, but it's going to use a lot of old stuff that you've probably already learned if you've gotten to this point. So what we're going to be doing with this imperfect subjunctive is, instead of saying something like, I want you to make me a sandwich, which would be the present tense subjunctive, and that would sound like, quiero que me hagas una torta. What I'm going to say with the imperfect subjunctive is, I wanted you to make me a sandwich. And that would look like this over here, quería que me hicieras una torta. So you're probably, if this is new to you, looking at this hicieras over here, and you're probably wondering, well, how do I form that hiciera? Because that's what's really the new thing in this lesson. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. Well, before I get to that, I guess, for the initial verb, the verb that's at the beginning of your sentence, you're going to want to use either the preterite or the imperfect. Again, careful with your choice, because you may still want to think about the differences between the preterite and the imperfect. This blue link right here is live. If you open up the document that is available to you in the description of the video, it's the same document that we're looking at here on the screen. You can take that, open it, print it off if you want it, and or if you open it, just open it on your computer. These links will be live for you. So anyway, typically it helps to think of the imperfect as an ongoing thing in the past and the preterite as a completed action in the past. So the thing that's new is the imperfect subjunctive. I do have another lesson on this topic. You can click that link if you want to. If you open the document, take you to that lesson if you want one in addition to this lesson. To form the imperfect subjunctive, you have to take a couple of steps. One, you have to ask yourself, what is the third person plural, or ellos, form of the verb in the preterite? Two, remove the on, or the on, and then you add the following endings: a, as, a, amos, ais, on. So the nice thing about this is that probably looks like a lot like an AR verb in the present tense, with the exception of that right there. That would be an O usually. So this should look kind of familiar to you. There is not an accent mark there on that A, just so you know. So just so I can kind of show you how it works, we are going to conjugate the verb hacer in the imperfect subjunctive. So the first thing you have to do is take the third person ellos form, and that is hicieron. So again, that's the preterite ellos form of the verb hacer. I'm going to remove the on, and then I'll be left with hicier, and then I'm going to add these endings that I showed you up here, and what I'll have is this right here: hiciera, hicieras, hiciera, hiciéramos, hicierais, typo, hicieron. There's an accent mark right here. For all of these imperfect subjunctive verbs in the no suchos form, there's always going to be an accent mark on that letter right there before the R. Just FYI for you. So again, these links are live for you in that document. What makes this extra difficult is that not only do you have to remember how to conjugate verbs in the preterite and imperfect for the first verb in your sentence, but you also have to remember all of the irregular verbs in the preterite to help you form the imperfect subjunctive. So if you've forgotten any of those, check out some of these videos right here. I'm actually missing one. I'll add one more in there before I upload this document for you. So what I want you to do is try and conjugate the verb tener in the imperfect subjunctive using this method I showed you up here. Fill it in on this chart, or just do it in your head if you want to, and then I'll show you the answers in just about 5 seconds. So pause the video if you want to do this first, otherwise I'm going to start showing you the answers. Okay, so the answers are right here. Tuviera, tuvieras, tuviera, tuviéramos, tuvierais, tuvieron. If you want me to review how I got to that part, remember the ellos form of tener in the preterite is tuvieron. I took off the on, and then I added the a, as, a, amos, ais, on, and I put that accent mark right there over that letter before the R, because it's tuviéramos. Okay, so hopefully the formation of it makes sense. It's really not too difficult. You just got to remember all those irregular preterites and then those new endings for the imperfect subjunctive. So what I want you to do here, if you want to practice with me, is I have 10 sentences for you here on the screen, and what I want you to do is put the first verb into the imperfect and the second verb into the imperfect subjunctive. So if you want to do this, pause the video and try and fill it out. If you want to handwrite it out, you can print off this document, or you can just write it down on a piece of paper or whatever, and I'll start giving the answers in about 5 seconds. So pause the video really quick, and then I'll start giving the answers. Okay, so what you have right here is the sentences I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller so I can fit everything on the screen. Okay, so I've got the 10 sentences. I put the answers down here, so you can, if you want to, you can just take those and plug them in up here, but I'm not going to do that. I'll just read the sentences to you as though those verbs are in it, okay? Yo quería que mis hermanos fueran a la playa. Hopefully you remember that ir is irregular in the preterite. It goes to fueron, so that's where I got the fueron. Dos. Mis padres insistían que yo me graduara de la escuela. 3. Ella dejaba que él anduviera en el parque. Andar is irregular in the preterite. I threw a few irregular ones in here for you. Let's see. 4. Ya tú pedías que el camarero trajera la comida rápidamente. 5. Nosotros prohibíamos que mi amigo, que ellos tomaran la leche con jugo. 6. Yo deseaba que mi amigo compartiera su Xbox. 7. Las maestras se oponían a que los estudiantes se tiraran un pedo en la clase. 8. Caleb rogaba que nosotros nos calláramos la boca. 9. Tú suplicabas que yo me pusiera desodorante. Y 10. Chris y yo exigíamos que tú condujeras a la fiesta. So I did throw a whole bunch of irregular verbs in there for you for the imperfect subjunctive just to see if you could remember some of those. If this isn't making sense to you, make sure to leave a comment in the comment box below, and I'll try and explain any or answer any questions that you may have. If this was helpful to you, please leave a thumbs up. Otherwise, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.